All right, there you have it. No ring rust. Danny Garcia is back. New weight division, and he looked good. He looked good. I mean, that fucking decision was horrible. The judges, I don't know what the fuck they were looking at, man. He probably lost 2 rounds, maybe three tops, and they still have the nerve to one of the judges have it a draw. 114, 114. That's what made it a majority decision. Like, bro, come on, man. Come on, man. They got to sit that fucking judge down and evaluate them. I mean, force him to fucking show you where you saw Benavidez win 6 rounds. How the fuck did you have that 6 rounds to 6 rounds? Horrible, man. Just horrible. I mean, and yeah, I mean, the first thing people are going to say is, well, look who he fought. Well, the other guy, last fight was at middleweight. So he's even fighting a bigger fighter. Danny Garcia, he came back fighting a bigger fighter. So it's kind of like a tune-up fight, not even a tune-up fight, kind of like a get-back fight for Danny Garcia. But he looked good. I mean, you got to evaluate how he looked, his movement. His movement looked good. His skills looked good against a bigger fighter, a pressure fighter. So he looked sharp. He looked good. So, I mean, and his next fight is going to be a step-up fight now in that division. That's why they were interviewing that guy, Tony Harrison. You know, the guy that fought Undisputed Charlo. He beat Undisputed Charlo and then lost the second one. Yeah, and then yeah. I mean, nobody saw that coming. His speech, that speech, man, by Danny Garcia. I mean, because this whole time that he was inactive, it was what, a year and a half since he lost to Errol Spence. Me myself, the way that I was following him was through his social media. You know how he's funny in social media. You know, like, hey, say hello to my little friend. You know that Tony Montana, all that shit. Like, it didn't look like he was going through any problems, and he shows you like his investments, his nice house. You know, so his good way of living. You didn't see that interview coming, man. That speech at the end. And you could see that was true. That was from the heart, man. It was like he was trying to fight it off, and the tears just came. The tears just took over. So that was genuine, sincere right there. None of that other bullshit like Tyson Fury or Ryan Garcia just saying it, but it doesn't look sincere. You don't see nothing, no emotion from it. It looks like they were just using that for like pity points. This looks sincere, man. It just came out. So, but yeah, going back to the boxing, I mean, he looked good. He looked sharp. And it was a big guy in front of him. So, excuse me. But I mean, like I said, yeah, you could talk shit about, who he fought. If you're a Danny Garcia hater for whatever reason, he has a lot of haters. So, yeah, you go just look at who he fought and be like, discredit him for that. But oh well. Just moves on forward, and he's trying to become a world champion in 3 divisions. So, I mean, he even talked about Lara. Nobody really saw that one coming either, because Lara just moved up from not that long ago, moved up from 154 to 160, and he got that title at 160, the secondary title, the WBA. So he's a small middleweight now, Lara. So he could go down to 155 because, yeah, when Danny Garcia brought him up, he quickly said 155. Like, he would only have to be going up one weight. 1 pound. It'll be kind of like when Canelo fight at 155 and then Cotto. So, I mean, but I think Lara could do it. He's a small middleweight. So, I mean, that's a good fight, too, I guess, even though Lara's old already. But, I mean, Danny Garcia's undersized. He's small. So, yeah, I guess so. Be a good fight. So yeah, that's I mean, it was that kind of fight that it was like for every four punches that Danny Garcia landed, probably one punch Benavidez landed. You know what I mean? It was like throughout. It was throughout. That's the way it was. So don't give me any other bullshit. That's the way it went down. Anybody trying to fucking say it was a close fight and in reality the other guy might have won. Oh, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. You blind as a bat. Clear victory, man. How about that first fight on the telecast, the triple header? Gary Antoine Russell. You guys, I'm pretty sure you guys saw that stoppage, man. That stoppage was garbage, man. He fought Francis Barthélemy. I mean, this was the sixth round. 5 rounds have only been fought, and one fighter could have won 3, and the other one 2. It was a close fight. 6th round, a normal routine knockdown. It wasn't a knockdown like the other guy was struggling to get back up and got back up with Bambi legs. None of that bullshit, man. None of that happened. And the referee, he just stops the fight. Let me go through the little sequence that he went through. Francis Barthélemy, he goes down. I'm not going to call it a flash knockdown because it wasn't. Flash knockdown is when, quickly go down and get back up. You weren't hurt or nothing. He went down, he landed on his elbow, and then after that, he still stumbles a little bit down. He goes all the way down. So it wasn't a flash knockdown. He was hurt a little bit. But after that, he reacts normal. He gets back up, and he walks around while the referee's giving him the count, and he's walking around like kind of like shaking his head like, fuck, I fucked up. I got caught. That kind of knockdown. Then turns to the ref. The ref cleans off his gloves. The ref tells him to, walk this way. Sometimes they tell him to like walk a little bit to the sides to make sure that their equilibrium, their balance is good. He did that. Looks at the ref. The ref asks him, "Are you okay?" And he clearly says, "Yes." And he stops the fucking fight. Like, come on, man. That was one of the most bullshit fucking stoppages of all time, man. That was ridiculous. He kind of reminded me of that Porter when he got dropped by Crawford at the end. And you know how he was pissed off at himself? And he was even banging the canvas. And he was pissed off at himself that he got dropped like that. Like, he's not hurt. He's just mad at himself. That's what happened with Francis Barthélemy. He gets dropped, gets back up, and he's shaking his head like, damn, like, fuck, like, I fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like he goes through everything, man, everything the referee asked him to do, and even asked him if he's okay to go, and he says yes, and he stops the fight, man. Dude, that was like, yeah, he robbed the fans of it. It could have turned out to be a good fight. I mean, and the other guy, he's on the rise. It's not fair to the other guy too, Gary Antoine Russell. It looks like he's on the rise right at the same time that his brother, he took that defeat. He finally lost he lost his title to Mark Magsayo. So, maybe when the other one's on the decline, this one's coming up and he's going to carry over the name now. So it's not fair for him too. Like, you don't want to win like that as a fighter. No fucking fighter wants to win that way. Yeah, and then Benavidez, man, he's a big boy, man. Like I said, he had that long layoff. As you can see, since 2018, he fought again until 2021, and that's when he came back in his last fight. Last November, and he came back at middleweight. So now he was fighting Danny Garcia at 154. So he's a big boy, man. He's big. So I don't know where he goes with his career, but I mean, in the post-fight interview, in the post-fight press conference, actually, I was watching it right now. That's why it took me a while to get into the live feed. I was watching the post-fight press conference, and he was doing that stupid excuses. They always got to come up with an excuse. Benavidez was talking about Danny Garcia was running, that he didn't want to exchange. Like, bro, what, man? Like, dude, why they always got to come up with the stupidest fucking shit, man? Always, man. What you mean he didn't want to exchange? Everybody saw that shit, man. You were taking some combos to the fucking face, to the body. You were the one that only landed like probably one shot here and there. I don't even think he was landing any combos. Benavidez on Danny Garcia. So it's like, damn, brother, they can't take a fucking defeat like a man. I mean, Benavidez was coming off that gift draw in his last fight. It was that, that fight where him and his big brother fought on the same card at home in Phoenix. So he's coming off that gift draw. He could have been coming off a loss. And he's talking out of his ass like that now, talking about Danny Garcia was running. Bruh. They always got to come up with that shit. Always with some bullshit. They always got to go the Manny Pacquiao route. The excuses. Always. So, yeah, like I was talking about Danny Garcia, I mean, his future now looks good. He's back on track. And yeah, nobody saw that coming, that speech at the end. So he was going through some shit, and he explained it, why he was going through that shit. He felt like, he was out of the picture. People weren't really considering him a good fighter anymore after he got that beating by Errol Spence Jr. and the long layoff. So that's what it was about, getting back into the mix of things. I think he'll be fine. He just got to stay active. But it's PBC, man. We'll see if they keep him active. Yeah, this is what the headlines are going to be reading everywhere. It's going to be one of those fights where, it was a dominant victory. But if you look at it on paper, you go to BoxRec, what's it going to show? Majority decision. Oh, wow, it could have been, so it was a close fight? No, fuck no, it wasn't. Just an incompetent fucking ass official, judge. Like 114. You got some explaining to do, man. That's some bullshit right there. I mean, if we look into this judge, I am pretty sure that we got some other fucked up ass scoring in the past. I think it's a woman. She's listed as Waleski Roldan. I think they refer to her as a she. So I think it's a woman. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man, but it's just by the name. I don't know if it was a he or a she. But I mean, yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. I mean, when you go through something like this, right in the heat of the moment, you really don't give a fuck because at least you didn't lose. You didn't get robbed. There was some funny business going on, and you could have been robbed, but you didn't. So you're like, fuck it, you move on. But then you look at it as time goes by, and it's like, come on, man. It should have looked on my record, on paper that I want an easy fight. Unanimous decision. You know what I mean? It's gonna go down as majority, so it's gonna look like it was a close fight when it wasn't at all. At fucking all. So, yeah, it was a good night of boxing. The heavyweight fight. Let's talk about the heavyweight fight. That's the one I missed. The very beginning of the Barthélemy fight and Antoine Russell is the one I missed the beginning. And then I saw the drama, what happened, the bad stoppage. Then I got busy, so I didn't really see the heavyweight fight. I saw like the end of it. But it looks like Adam Kownacki, I don't know, man. Adam Kownacki, man, he does not look the same anymore. And he was like trying to sell it to people that, he just lost to one fighter, and it looks like that fighter had his number when he lost to Robert Helenius. Remember, he got knocked out by Robert Helenius. He lost twice to him. So it's just one fighter you lose to, And so this is another fight. He's kind of like a bounce back fight. He's bouncing back from those two defeats. And this guy nobody ever heard of, the guy he's fighting, Ali Aaron Demirezin. Nobody knew he was coming. So it's kind of like, all right, so, he's going to bounce back, get back on the winning column. Well, no, he got a beating, man. This guy beat his ass up, man. I saw that face. I saw the numbers. It looked like by the numbers it was a close fight. Like I said, I didn't see it. I got to watch it again later on tonight. But, yeah, he took a fucking beating, man. So I don't know, man. Maybe this guy's done, man. Taunaki looked like he might be done. Yeah, and then on the other fights earlier on, I think though they put those on Showtime on the YouTube channel. At that Sergey Derevchenko. I got to see those later on too. They throw those on YouTube. Sergey Derevchenko. I wonder how he looked. I don't even know if he won. Yeah, somebody talking about her on Instagram about Brandon Moreno won his fight. That's cool. I didn't watch. I watched a little bit of the girls at the end. I think when I went in there, it was already a dominant victory by Amanda Nunes. But like I said, man, especially when there's boxing, I don't watch that weak ass sport MMA. Yeah, Harun Saham on Instagram is saying that Danny has an underrated chin. Yeah, he does, man. He has an iron chin, man. He did take a few punches, like I said, throughout the fight. The way you could capitalize this fight is by saying that for every 4 punches that Danny Garcia landed, the other guy landed maybe 1 or 2. And sometimes he would land on Danny Garcia. So he did receive a few punches. And yeah, Danny Garcia just eats him up like nothing, man. He just moves on, keeps on going. So yeah, his chin, hell yeah, is up there, man. He's got an iron chin. Yeah, and then let's go. I'm gonna click on that fucking scorecard by that lady that had a 114. I think they were saying that. Let me look it up. That she gave a cushion to Benavidez early, and that's how it is. When somebody's like corrupt and being paid off, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna give you a cushion and give you the benefit of the doubt that there's swing rounds or anything. Even though there was no swing rounds here, it was clearly all Danny Garcia, but they're giving like a little cushion, and give you all the early rounds. So here, let me look that shit up. I seen it posted. I seen that scorecard. Here it is. Here's the scorecard. All right. What was her name? 114. So let me see. See, I'm going live on all my platforms right now, all my pages on the platforms. And I know that on you guys on Instagram, it cuts it off a little bit. Oh, you can see it now. So yeah, her scorecard is the one right here, all the way to the right, the one that has a 114. So look at this. Benavidez is right here. This fucking judge, incompetent ass fucking judge, gave Benavidez the first round, the second round, the fourth round. She gave him 1, 2, 3 of the first 4 rounds. And then, so she already gave him. I keep saying she. I think it's a she. That judge still gave that judge gave Benavidez consecutive rounds early in the fight and later on in the fight. Consecutive rounds, bro. Benavidez. That motherfucker probably. Fuck, come on, man. Oh wait, the other judge too, the one that had it 8 rounds to 4, Glenn Feldman, also gave. He only gave 4 rounds to Benavidez, and all 4 of those rounds there were consecutive rounds. The first two, and the 8 and the ninth. The 8 and the 9 and the first two for the one that gave it a draw, plus the fourth and the 11th. Wow, amazing, man! Just fucking amazing, man. Get the fuck out of here, please, man. I mean, damn. I mean, 8 rounds to 4. That judge that had it 8 rounds to 4. That's already too close for me. The one that had it 9 rounds to 3, all right. Even though I would give Benavidez maybe 2 fucking rounds. Yeah, three rounds tops. So the 8 rounds to 4, oh my god, whatever. But the one shit, 6 rounds to 6. Come on, man. We need I forgot. I don't know where I have it, man. That picture of Roger Mayweather with the you don't know shit about boxing. Come on. Uh, Someone cannot be that incompetent. That's corruption. That is what you call corruption. Somebody got paid off right there, man. 6 rounds to 6? Nah. You got paid off. For sure. Fuck yeah, you did. You cannot be that incompetent. No fucking way. No fucking way. Little Mock 7 on Instagram is asking me Danny Garcia versus Charlo, who wins? I'm assuming you're talking about the Charlo at that division at 154, undisputed Charlo. I talked about it in my last live feed. I don't think Danny Garcia. I don't think he beats him, and I said that before. I good, but I still don't think he beats Charlo. Maybe after a few fights at 154, maybe I gotta see more. We gotta see something good, something better from Danny Garcia. So, yeah, I don't know. Not right now. Not right now. Boxing with Frank Bay on YouTube is saying that 8-4 was decent. Jose Benavidez landed some good shots. Yeah, I said he did land some good shots. I did say that. Yeah, but I think 8-4 is a little bit too much. 9-3 is better. But yeah, I mean, yeah, fuck, I don't know. 6 rounds to 6. The draw is the one that fuck, dude. Where the fuck you get that from? That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, 8 rounds to 4 to me still too much. Giving 4 rounds to Benavidez. But oh well, if you saw it like that, that's cool. I respect that. If you come in here saying, I thought the draw 114 was decent, then I would have been like, pack your bags and get the fuck out of here. But nah, all right. I guess you like that one. Yeah, and then you're talking about the first 6 rounds were competitive. I don't know about that, man. Shit. I don't know about competitive, man. Like I said, man, throughout the whole fight, it was like combinations by Danny Garcia. Four punches he'll land. The other guy would land one or maybe two. So nah, I don't think so. I don't agree with that. Competitive. I don't think that this fight was competitive at all, ever. Yeah, he blocked a lot of shots, but he took also a lot of shots. Yeah, this ain't that kind of fight. Come on, man. This ain't that kind of fight where the announcers have a lot of sway. Don't forget that. This ain't that kind of fight, bro. If it's a close fight, then yeah, they're gonna have sway, and people are gonna, go by that, by the scorecard being shown by Steve Farhood on Showtime, the announcers, CompuBox. This was not that kind of fight at all. If you're being biased for some whatever reason, because today it was Benavidez Mexican American versus the Puerto Rican American. If you're being like that, then that's the sway you're fucking going by, probably. Or for whatever other reason, you don't like Danny Garcia, you're an Errol Spence hater, so you automatically hate on fools he's beaten already. You're a Benavidez fan of the big Benavidez, so you're gonna go for the little Benavidez, for smaller weight Benavidez. That might have some sway, but this was not that kind of fight where you're gonna say the announcers have a lot of sway. Nah, hell, fucking no, no way at all. Jose did not counter him pretty well. Jose did not counter him very well at all. Like I said, he would land one punch or two here and there. No need to watch it again. It's not biased if the judges had it 8 rounds to 4. Well, yeah, that's a good way to talk out of your ass. How come you didn't bring up the other one, 6 rounds to 6? Are you going to talk about not being biased because of the judges, like the judges ain't incompetent? This is the fight where it showed you that judges could be super incompetent. Say the same thing, bringing up that other fucking judge, the 6 rounds to 6, 114, 114. You ain't making no fucking sense. I think you are nothing but a fanboy. For some reason, you're being biased. Like I said, all the reasons that I brought up. Trying to act like if this was a competitive fight, the judges had it, the announcers sway things. Like, this ain't that type of fight, bro, man. Are you related to that motherfucker? Oh, wait, this is a burner account by the judge. They had it 114, 114. Are you related to that person, man? Pack your bags. Get the fuck out of here. But yeah, I mean, this is boxing. You got a lot of people are still going to be talking out of their ass when there's like a clear ass fucking victor. The fight was like not competitive at all. Like at all. Like dominant as fuck. And you're still going to have like some idiots out there. Oh, well, I thought it was a little competitive. Like I said before, man, too. Saludos desde Leo's Club. All right, Dibs, I got you. So, like I said in the past, he has a lot of haters. He's been having a lot of haters, Danny Garcia. And it was another night of boxing, too, where it was like Mexican American versus the Puerto Rican American. Danny Garcia has a bunch of haters. He's an opponent of Errol Spence. So it could be a lot of Crawford fans, just hating on the opponent. And then, look, it was a Errol Spence opponent beating a Crawford opponent. You see? It just makes, Crawford's resume look even more shittier. So you see what I mean? The opponents that Crawford's been fighting and the opponents that Spence been fighting. So that's why there's a lot of stupid people like the guy that I just highlighted right now. Yeah, I thought it was a little competitive. So there'll be those type of guys out there. Yeah, so this guy just came out of nowhere, huh? I saw a lot of people were like kind of complaining about the card and talking shit. And then they were complaining about the co-main event. Like, who is that guy? Hey, and then the CompuBox. I saw the CompuBox on this fight against Kaunaki. And this guy right here. I mean, fuck. Kaunaki, I think, threw almost 900 punches. And this guy threw almost 1,000 punches, man, for heavy weights. Heavy fucking weight. So I'm going to see that fight later on again. I didn't see it, man. Shit sounds like a good fight. And this guy, well, he's going to be known now. They're going to know who he is now. Yeah, Cartel RO on Instagram is talking about he could never get past Sebastian Fundora. I'm assuming you're talking about Danny Garcia. Like, yeah, like I said, I don't know, man. I mean, Fundora is going to be fucking tough for everybody because of that height. And not only that, he's not about the height only. That guy could fight, man. Look at what he did to fucking Eric Lubin. So I don't know. Maybe Danny Garcia might not be ready for that shit yet. I think that opponent is perfect. The one that they interviewed today during the fight, Tony Harrison. I think that's a good opponent. That's a good opponent. Lara, we'll see. Lara would be to at a catch weight, and he'll be accomplishing if he beats Lara, a world champion in three divisions. Even though everybody's picturing him trying to make it at 154, this would be at middleweight. It would be a catch weight. So, but I mean, we know that in the future, even if he beats Lara at 155 for that title, he's still going to keep fighting at 154. So I'd rather if he keeps fighting like opponents at 154 to get him ready for like the top fighters at 154. Because Charlo, he's fighting Tim Tszyu. Who knows who wins that one? Shit. Dibs is asking me on Instagram to go live on TikTok. I thought about it, man, because I'm going live on all my platforms and on all the platforms. But TikTok, I don't know. Not that many people know that I got TikTok. So I guess whoever's hearing it right now, go to TikTok and follow me. I just started that shit just to watch videos. And, I threw in a few videos. So, I got a few followers. But, maybe next time I'll go live right there. Yeah, tell them que les mando saludos también. Dibs. So, maybe next time I'll probably include TikTok in here too. We'll see. But, this heavyweight guy, man, look like he has arrived. I got to get used to pronouncing his name, man. Ali Aaron Demirezen. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. Come on, man. Man, Broner Figueroa, man. Who want to see this shit, man? Nobody want to see this shit, man. Fuck out of here, man. All right. You know what time it is, guys? You know what? I say we start talking about Jake Paul. What happened? What happened? Jake Paul, man. What happened, bro? It's gone. The fight seems to be off. Jake Paul. Another real boxer, quote unquote, real boxer, like Tommy Fury, and now this guy, have ran away from the YouTuber. Why is everybody so scared of the YouTuber, man? What happened? What? Look at that. The YouTuber been training hard and climbing up. He took care of those bullshit ass fights where he fought another YouTuber, then he fought the basketball player, then he fought the retired former world champions from MMA, the UFC guys. Okay, he got that shit out of the way, and he's been trying to fight these real boxers, man. He was going to fight the brother of Tyson Fury. Motherfucker pulled out of it twice. And now, this guy is not going to make weight, man. Like, dude, why the fuck you even sign the contract? Now he's fighting a bigger guy, man. He was fighting a bigger guy that signed the contract, and he was being weighed every week. He was going to be being weighed by the commission every week to see that he was going to be on track to make weight healthy. And he was. And then out of nowhere, the motherfucker stopped losing weight. They tested him again. They weighed him again, and he had lost less than 1 fucking pound. The motherfucker just stopped training or what? What happened? That motherfucker just tried to do everything to get the fuck out of the fight. He was already complaining throughout, and during the press conference, he was complaining about what he was getting paid. Can you believe that shit? He was getting paid like 10 times more than whatever fucking fight he's ever fought that he got paid in. Because he was fighting, these bullshit-ass fights. He was getting paid galore, man, like 10 times more than he had ever gotten paid. So he was already complaining about shit here and there. And he found a way. He got out of the fucking fight. Don't give me no bullshit. You can't put it any other way. He got out of the fucking fight. Just like the Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury's brother. What did he do? He tried to make it seem like if they didn't let him in the country, when his own dad came out saying that he was out of shape and he wasn't training properly. Huh? You see, these fools are just bullshitting, man. I feel like the reason they're doing this shit Yeah, Dibs is talking about give me a milli. I'll take a beating by the YouTuber. Yeah, I mean, but you know what it is? It's come down to the point where, yeah, he's about to fight his next fight. Jake Paul's is going to be against a real boxer. Remember, they keep saying he's not fighting a real boxer. So these motherfuckers that have pulled out, like they feel that pressure, like, oh man, what if I don't win? What if I get knocked out? I'm gonna be the first real boxer to take an L by the fucking YouTuber. You know what I mean? Like they feel I don't know, they feel pressure. Like this is like weird, man. Like weird, man. They're scared of the fucking YouTuber, bro. It's because deep down inside, they know that this fucking YouTuber is not a YouTuber. He is a professional boxer. He could fight. He could fight. I'm not saying he's the best. I'm not saying he's world championship material. None of that shit. Nah. He could fight. He could still fight. And he has been improving. He even got some boxing skills. So it's just that bullshit narrative that they're trying to put him down because he's a shit talker that he can't fight and he's nothing but a YouTuber. Nah. Deep down inside, these real boxers that are pulling out of the fucking fights, they know he could fight. And they don't want to be the first one to get knocked out by a YouTuber. Can you imagine how embarrassing it is going to be in their circle, that real boxer that gets knocked out by the YouTuber? They're going to clown the fuck out of him, man. So they're feeling that pressure. Let me see, like, where is he at? Let's go to his fucking page. Mr. Jake Paul. Wow. Let me pull up this tweet over here by Jake Paul. I don't know if you can see it up here. Jake Paul is talking about, he pulled up a tweet where he says, when my mom calls you a pussy, that's when you know it's bad. So apparently, Jake Paul's mother called, I guess, the guy that pulled out of the fight a pussy, Hasim Rahman. Like, damn. Mama Paul is getting down on social media, calling boxers pussies, I guess. So, yeah, and then here's the statement. I don't know if you guys could read it. You should be able to read it. Yeah, here it is. I mean, yeah. I don't know if, I think if I zoom out, the guys from Instagram could see it. Let me see it. Yeah, I think I gotta zoom out it, but the letters will be too small. So yeah, fuck you guys on Instagram. You can't see shit. It ain't my fault, man. Like I said, I'm going live on all platforms, so you know how it is with it's like on only portrait you can watch it when you go live on Instagram, so you can't flip your phone. Well, this is what it says. Let's go read what it says. So yeah, Hasim Rahman signed an agreement to fight Jake Paul at 200 pounds, which is cruiserweight. Because Hasim Rahman is a fucking heavyweight. At the time of the signing, Hasim Rahman provided evidence of his weight to give comfort to the commission that he would not be losing more than 10% of his weight over the next 4 weeks leading up to the fight. On August 5th, he provided a letter signed by a recognized nutritionist that his weight cut was progressive without issues, according to the commission, which they required weekly weight checks. And then in the last 48 hours, it became clear that these assurances were not made in good faith at all. On Friday, Hasim Rahman submitted a weight check to the commission that demonstrated he had lost less than 1 pound since originally signing to take the fight 24 days prior. Oh my. Wow. Can you imagine that shit? 24 days before the fight, when he signed the contract, where he said he assured that he was going to make weight like nothing because he had a professional recognized nutritionist. In 24 fucking days, he lost less than 1 fucking pound. And throughout that time is when the press conference happened. They had back and forth on social media. And he was complaining because he wasn't getting paid enough. The guy that was getting paid like 10 times more than what he was getting paid ever in his career. That he will never see this kind of money again. So you could tell that this whole time he was gonna find the way to pull out of the fucking fight. Just like the other guy, Tommy Fury. So after that happened, they found out that he had lost less than a pound. The commission declared that it would not sanction the fight. Oh, so the commission said that now they were going to move it up from 200 pounds to a catch weight of 205 now. So Hasim Rahman wouldn't have to lose that much weight now. Now he would have to go only down to 205 from 216 to 205. And Jake Paul was prepared to move forward with that, with the new weight. And the new contract, stating the new weight was sent to Rahman, reflecting the new weight of 205. And then when he received, so it looks like he was trying to go in there as a weight bully. Like he was never going to make weight so he could have that advantage over the YouTuber. So you see, this is the extent that he went to, the real boxer, Hasim Rahman. He was planning on blowing off the fucking weigh-in and weighing in whatever the fuck he wanted so he could have a weight advantage over the YouTuber. He still wanted a fucking bigger advantage against a YouTuber. He already is the bigger guy, taller guy, longer guy, more experienced guy. The motherfucker was planning on coming in at 215. That's why when he weighed 216, when he signed the contract, he had only lost less than a pound because he was planning on weighing in at 215 when the fight was going to be at 200. Dude, motherfucking real boxers are that scared of a YouTuber, dude. This guy wanted to come in with the weight advantage on top of that. Damn. Upon receiving this new contract Saturday morning, Rahman's camp indicated for the very first time that Rahman was planning to weigh 215, and that's the reason he had only lost less than half a pound. Bro, damn, bro. That fool got real boxers running scared and trying to have any fucking advantage over him. A YouTuber, that's all they go around saying, that he ain't shit, that he's nothing but a YouTuber, but behind closed doors, they're going to extremes to have an advantage over him because they don't want to get knocked out by him. Damn, this is embarrassing, bro. This is fucking embarrassing, bro. Real boxers doing shit like that in fear of a fucking YouTuber, bro. So that's why what the second contract was sent to him to, all right, instead of 200 pounds, make it 205. He declined it. He would not agree. And they pulled out of the fight. So there you go. The commission did not stop this fight because they wanted to. They saw what was going on, and they still gave it a chance for it to proceed, the fight. And they were good with 205, increasing the weight limit from 200 to 205. And Mr. Hasim Rahman was planning to be a weight bully and declined it, turned it down because he wanted to come in at 215. Wow. Yeah, there you have it. So I mean, look at what's going on, man. We got a YouTuber that's fucking knocking out former world champions from the MMA world. Former MMA world champions. He knocked out Ben Askren and Tyrone Woodley. And now he's got real boxers running away scared of him, trying to look for any fucking advantage. They already probably have they do have an advantage. Tommy Fury has experience against real boxers. The YouTuber doesn't. This guy has an amateur background, experience against real boxers. He's 12-1, Hasim Rahman, and is way bigger, heavyweight, and he still wanted a more an advantage. He wanted to come in as a weight bully. All right, I think I talked too much about Jake Paul. Let's move on. Or else my viewers are gonna be like, "Ah, man, fuck boxing habit. That guy talks nothing about fucking Jake Paul. I'm out of here." It could only be so much Jake Paul talk because I know boxing fans get pissed off. Are like, "Nah, let's get the fuck out of here." Yeah, we already got somebody talking about talk real boxing, motherfucker. This is real boxing shit. It's boxing. If it ain't boxing you like, well, it's something else. And if you don't like my shit, then kick rocks, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so we had a lot of little headlines over here. Look at this. Check this out. Like, look, I'm gonna have to take sides right here with Gervonta. With Gervonta, well, not really with Gervonta, but like I'm gonna go against what Mr. De La Hoya is saying. He said you got two guys that are A sides. It's about being fair because both guys have a name, and he's talking about obviously a potential Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia fight. So he's already doing his part to try to kill the fight. Oscar, no, they are not both A sides. Gervonta Davis is the fucking A side. How the fuck is he not going to be the A side when Ryan Garcia has never, ever been a world champion? When both fighters already fought in the same venue and Gervonta Davis outsold Ryan Garcia. The last venue that Ryan Garcia fought at, where the Lakers play at, sold less tickets than Gervonta Davis when he fought there. I think it was last year against Pitbull Cruz. He outsold them. He is a world champion and has been a world champion in different weight divisions, Gervonta. How the fuck is Oscar going to come out and say that Ryan Garcia is also an A side? No, first of all, there has to be one A side. Even if you go with the 50-50 down the middle, at the end of the day, there has to be one A side, like the one that has the one with the name come out first on the poster, the one that comes out second into the ring, shit like that. You know what I mean? But nah, right here, no, we don't have that. No, this is not. It's by a little, not by a lot. Like if he's talking about like the purse split, that's something else. But you're not gonna get 50-50. I don't think he's gonna get 50-50. But yeah, they shouldn't exaggerate either. And PBC and Mayweather Promotions try to give Ryan Garcia like 70-30, 80-20. No, you can't exaggerate like that. It would have to be like 60-40, maybe 60, 55-45. But he's just straight out saying that they're both A sides. So like, no, man, Gervonta Davis is clearly the fucking A side, bro. And I'm neutral because I don't like either one. So it's like, come on, man. So it's gonna go back and forth. Each team, each fighter trying to kill the fight. Just watch. Somebody said that he was on coke when he said that. What do you mean when he said that? He always is, man. Was he wearing his fishnets? Now that's another question. I doubt he wears them all the time. But coke, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's on it all the time. So yeah, I mean, something's got to give. I see a lot of comments, people talking about, Ryan Garcia has a soft chin, weak chin. Well, something's got to give. I mean, but he does have incredible speed. He's faster than Gervonta, so they both got power, but I think Gervonta has more power. So something's got to give. The fight still got to happen instead of this back and forth. It's a fight that people could live without. You know what I mean? It's not a unification fight. It's not a champion versus champion, pound for pound versus pound for pound. People could live without it. The point is, but the thing is, all we do is hear and hear and hear about it all the time from either side. Multiple members of each side, each team, that's all they talk about. That's what the headlines are brought up. All the media's bringing up all the shit that's always being talked back and forth. So people don't want to hear just back and forth. All that back and forth has created a buzz where people want to see the fucking fight. But we could be without it if they didn't talk so much about each other, about fighting each other, and the headlines wouldn't be showing that a potential fight by each one of them. If that happens, we could live without it, man. Fuck the fight. Let them fight other champions. And we'll be good. We could live without it. Crawford versus Spence, now that's a fight we could not live without, man. We cannot go on and see them fight other fighters. That's a must happen. That's a must happen. So you see, it's different kind of big fights. They're both big fights, but one we could live without. Just shut the fuck up if you're not going to fight each other. The other one we fucking needed. So let's see what else was going on. Yeah, and then we got Danny Garcia. He said he was going to go for the knockout because he knew that Benavidez was going to be right in front of him the whole time, which did happen. But I don't know. I didn't think he was going to knock him out. Benavidez is way bigger. And here's another statement where I don't know if everybody agrees with, because Danny Garcia came out talking and said before the fight, "I'm not the only great fighter who lost to other great fighters." So a lot of people criticized him for that, like, you're not a great fighter. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, a lot of this, like this, subjective kind of talk, like, is he in his prime or he's not? Is he a great fighter or is he not? Is he a pound for pound fighter or is he not? All those things are subjective, you know what I mean? But by him saying that, it's not like he's calling himself an all-time great. A great fighter and an all-time great is different. All-time great is, you know what an all-time great is, like fucking Sugar Ray Leonard, Pacquiao, Mayweather, shit like that. So he's not putting himself there. He's just calling himself a great fighter. I mean, I would consider him a great fighter if he does accomplish winning another world title in another weight class. But he's close. So a lot of people are, talking shit about that because they don't consider him a great fighter. And he only lost 3 fights, and it was against other great fighters. Spence, Porter, and Thurman. So what he's saying, I kind of agree with it, man. Come on, man. I'm not the only great fighter who lost to other great fighters. Can't hate on him for that. Come on. Oh, yeah, this was another thing. Jake, I mean, it was reported this morning. I think it was this morning when the WBC, everybody was pissed off at this shit, I bet you, especially all the Jake Paul haters. The WBC had just said that if Jake Paul would have beaten his next opponent, Hasim Rahman, he would have been ranked in the WBC rankings. And then right away, during the same day, hours later, is when that shit happened and pulled out of the fucking fight. Man, I bet fucking, dude, they had a roller coaster of emotions today. The Jake Paul haters, man. They went from hearing that from the WBC and now this shit that the fight gets canceled. I mean, they went from being frustrated when they heard that from the WBC, and then when they heard that the fight was dead, they were happy as fuck. So it went from bad to good for the Jake Paul haters. But yeah, it looked like they were going to rank him if he would have won. I mean, nobody's saying they were going to rank him like high. I don't think they're going to put him in the top 5, top 10 probably. I don't know what. I think the WBC has their rankings up to like what? Do they have the top 50, top 25, something like that? But still, people would have had a problem with that, I guess. So now, who comes out benefiting from this and the Jake Paul fight being canceled is that same Saturday night was going to be, it is going to be Virgil Ortiz Jr. So now the spotlight is on him. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. I mean, that fight he's fighting, it's against the same guy. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is the same guy he pulled out of last year. When was it? Earlier this year? Yeah, I think it was earlier this year. So now that's going to be the only one that on primetime in the U.S. Virgil Ortiz versus Michael McKinson. Even though that Michael McKinson guy, he didn't look that good. He looked like, I don't know, like whatever. When he went on with that fight, because they just replaced Virgil Ortiz. He looked kind of like, eh. Let me see. Let me look him up when it was. The last time Virgil Ortiz even fucking fought. Because by pulling out of that fight last time. So yeah, now it's going to be a whole year without fighting for Virgil Ortiz. Is going to be coming in with 1 year of inactivity. A whole year. Because the last time he fought was against EJ Velasquez last August, and now he's fighting in August against this guy Michael McKinson. And this Michael McKinson, he went on and fought. Yeah, they got Alex Martin. It was a unanimous decision. It was kind of boring. It was in March. Yeah, it was in March this year. So yeah, now we got Virgil. He was gonna have to compete with that pay-per-view, Jake Paul pay-per-view. Now he's not. And it looks like Terrence Crawford is taking a jab at Benavidez. As you can see his tweet right there. I love how Benavidez got 2 legs tonight. That's what he tweeted. Because that was the excuse that he got shot back in the day. So I mean, this tweet by Terrence Crawford is pretty stupid. He did get shot. He had 1 fucking leg. He had 1 leg. I mean, years have passed by now. When he fought Terrence Crawford, it was recent that he had been shot and, had complications with the leg, surgery and all that shit. So you did fight a 1-legged Benavidez. If his leg got better, it's been fucking years. I mean, Crawford fought him in 2018, man. 18, man. That's fucking 4 years ago. Of course, everything's going to get better. He's not in a wheelchair where he can't walk, so it's going to get better. So, Terrence Crawford, you did fight a 1-legged man. Yeah, then we had Errol Spence talking about that extra weight feel good. He's talking about Danny Garcia. He didn't have to cut down all the way to 147. And he's talked about it in the past, and moving up to 154 himself. So by saying that too, he's thinking about it too. But we already know what he's sticking around for at 147. He's trying to get that undisputed fight against Crawford. But I mean, come on, what's up? Where you at, Crawford? When are you gonna sign the fucking contract? There was reports that it was not looking good. By Showtime, Steven Espinosa, he said, well, he didn't say he was not looking good. He said that they're kind of at a stall right now with the negotiations, but not enough where no one's going to just walk away from the negotiations. So you see what I mean? Like, Crawford, when are you going to sign that fucking contract? I'm telling you, man, he keeps demanding shit. I'm sure that's the reason this fight has not been announced. He keeps demanding shit. Yeah, here it is. You see, Steven Espinosa admits Errol Spence versus Crawford negotiations have hit a snag, but still hopeful a deal will be struck. He said, look, when you have a negotiation like that, I know it has been public, which I think is a good thing, but it's still highly scrutinized and have a lot of interest. And I think most negotiations that go on for a while, they have a lifespan in ups and downs. So I don't think it's dead or close to being dead. I think there are some points where things are moving and we're a little bit stuck, but I don't think anyone's ready to throw in the towel. At least not the two fighters. So there you go. All this time there's a lot of reports that everything was looking good. They were getting close to striking a deal, and now this by Steven Espinosa himself from Showtime. And this is not like Ryan Garcia and Gervonta, where the Zone and Showtime got to come together. No, this is just going to be a strictly Showtime fight, and they're still having problems. But I mean, all those reports were coming out earlier that it was Crawford, bitch ass Crawford with his demands. And I'm pretty sure that's what it still is. He's making his B-side demands and doesn't sign the contract. So here we are. No fight yet. I really, really hate to say it, but it feels like this fight is not going to get done. Crawford is going to end up try to fight like someone like Crawford. I mean, like Thurman. And then they're going to hit Errol Spence with the mandatory, the guy that holds the WBA regular at welterweight. I forget how to pronounce his fucking name. Emanotis, something like that. So, man, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. Of course, he's gonna say that Steven Espinosa that but nobody's walking away. He's hoping that nobody walks away, but it looks like somebody could easily walk away now that they're stuck. Fuck yeah, it's Crawford holding it up. He's been holding it up, making B-side demands. We've been waiting for his ass to sign the contract. Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract. You'll see. Everything's going to come to light. But of course, all the fanboys are going to take their sides, and Crawford fanboys are going to try to point the finger at Spence. But look, it's been well documented. It's been reported. He's been the one making the demands, the one that hasn't signed the contract. Crawford. So, all right, we'll see how it works out for him. Giancarlos is talking about, what are you talking about? Munguia versus Derevchenko? Yeah, I think this fight that Derevchenko fought, was it at 160? I think it was at 160, wasn't it? Let's see who's scheduled this one. So he's at the weight class, I think. Yeah, it was at middleweight, even though Munguia just fought at 168, wasn't it? But I think he's going to go back down. So I guess that fight could get made since Munguia doesn't fight fucking current world champions. He's cherry picking ass. It'll still Guti Varen. You talking about it's not going to sell? Spence versus Crawford will sell no matter what the fuck is going on in the sports world. Fuck yeah, it will. It doesn't matter if the World Series is on. Don't matter what the fuck is going on. We're talking about a generational fucking mega fight everybody wants to see. It will sell no matter what. So no, that's a fight that everybody wants to see, even people outside of boxing. That's a huge fight. It'll sell regardless. So I'm assuming somebody's asking me. I just read off that comment on Instagram that how about Munguia versus Derevchenko? So that was one of the early fights on YouTube, Showtime YouTube. I didn't see it, so I'm assuming that by asking me that he won, I guess, Derevchenko. But like I said, fucking cherry picking as Munguia, he ain't fighting the current world champion, so he'd probably go for that one. And what's up with David Benavidez just came out talking about Big Charlo, that he faked his injury and because he was drunk the next day when he was going live. Big Charlo, Pussy Charlo. I'm like, fuck you talking about you. I mean, I ain't defending Big Charlo because I don't like him either, but fuck you talking about trying to criticize him when partying. You got stripped of your WBC title for partying too. You fucking tested positive for cocaine. But yeah, we know that that's what happened. Big Charlo, he pulled out of the fight. He Probably the fight wasn't even selling because he was fighting a bum. But I mean, the way that he tried to put it, Benavidez, oh, he's a drunk and he was partying. Shit, what the fuck you get stripped for partying, right? You're doing cocaine. Last time I checked, cocaine is a party drug. Yeah, Boo Boo Andrade definitely ducked Derevchenko back in 2019. Fuck yeah, he did that back when Derevchenko was a badass. That fucking boo boo, poo poo. Yeah, for been ducking fools, man. Left and right. They try to put him up there like a monster, like somebody boogeyman. Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, boogeyman. What's he doing right now? Trying to fucking avoid his mandatory Andrade so he could fight who? Eubank Jr. Wah wah wah. That's a good one right there, huh? And then remember that interview he was talking about, we're both superstars, a lot of money and this and that, like delusional much. Against Tony Harrison. I think that's a perfect fight. There's gonna be a lot of interest in that fight. Tony Harrison too. I mean, he could get back into the world title contention, another world title shot. So he's gonna come in hungry. And then Danny Garcia knows that by winning that fight, he'll get a world title shot. So that's the best fight. Because if he fights Lara at 155, the catch weight, I mean, for him, if he beats Lara at 155, he'll still be a 3 division world champion, but not at 154. It'll be at middleweight, but he'll be making good history for his legacy, his resume. But he's going to still keep fighting at 154, so he's still going to have to fight the top guys at 154. So I think the Tony Harrison one is better. Yeah, we got Clarissa Shields putting in work. She's getting close. That's a good fight, man. Big fight. The GOAT. A lot of people don't like her, but I do. The GOAT. Even though I think she blocked me on Instagram, I think. She's sensitive, man. She's always blocking everyone. I don't hold it against her, man. She's got a lot of haters. She talks a lot of shit too and back and forth. But yeah, she's sensitive. So I guess, I don't know. She saw one of my posts. I don't think I ever gone to her page and talk any shit, so I don't know. She probably saw one of my posts and she didn't like it or something, and probably felt left out because I'd be making all these like pound for pound lists, current undisputed champions or unified champions, and I always do for the guys. I don't put the girls in there, so she probably felt left out or disrespected. I think that's what it was. And I don't know. I think she blocked me from Instagram. But I'm cheering for her, man. I want her to win so bad against Savannah Marshall coming up. That Savannah Marshall girl, man. Overrated as fuck, watch. She's going to put up a clinic on Savannah Marshall, watch. We're going to hear all them excuses from the UK fans. Because that's the only ones that are high on Savannah Marshall, the UK fans. Everybody else is like, who's that? So the GOAT is going to go in and kick some ass, watch. That's what I'm hoping for. Clinic. Because here we go. Skills versus power again. And like I said, the majority of the time, who wins? Skills versus power. Skills. Yeah, it looks like Omar Figueroa said, way to go, Danny Garcia. I salute you. Mental health matters. Congratulations on having the strength to be human, and congratulations on your victory. So yeah, like I was saying about the mental health, that speech by Danny Garcia, man, it was pretty good, man, because that's the first time ever that I really felt it when I saw somebody talk about it, and it looked like it looked genuine. It looked genuine as fuck. Like he was talking and he was talking about his life, and then slowly you could feel that shit, like he was fighting it, and the tears just overcame him and they started flowing. Because the other two that try to, promote that, we know they're full of shit, like Tyson Fury and Ryan Garcia. Tyson Fury, to begin with, is bullshit about the mental health that he had, the, depression and all that. I mean, he must have felt like shit about himself. That's different because all he was doing is getting drunk and partying. And you know when it was when he was suspended, he had a 2-year ban for testing positive for steroids. So he was trying to change the narrative and the headlines why he was gone. When he was gone, remember that? And then he came back and fought Wilder. Yeah, Tyson Fury, well, all he was doing was partying and getting drunk and taking drugs because he had nothing else to do. He couldn't fight. He had a 2-year ban for for testing positive for steroids. So he's full of shit. And then Ryan Garcia, man, full of shit too. Just because he was gone, he was pulling out of fights. He was partying, vacationing last year, and he came up with that out of nowhere. He just said that he was going through mental health. This guy right here had never even spoken about it. Nobody even saw it coming because, like I said, on his social media, everything looks like he's having a perfect life. And, out of nowhere, it overcame him. He was just talking about how happy he was back, get back into boxing again, and he won and just came out. He just couldn't talk. He just started crying. Like, it looks sincere. It looks sincere. So now, what the other two are going to probably try to do is probably start crying next time. Try to do like a fake cry or something. Ryan Garcia and Tyson Fury. Because they saw everybody saw that this was sincere right here. This was not just talk about it so everybody could feel bad and sorry about me. No, this was like from the heart. Couldn't keep it in. It just came out. A lot of people, try to just say mental health, and it's nothing but bullshit. They're just hiding behind it to try to get pity points or whatever. So yeah, we got Usyk, Naoya. I don't agree with Naoya being that high, but fuck it. I think I thought about it over and over. Yeah, Canelo shouldn't be at number one. No, nobody comes close to his resume. He has the best resume, but nobody should still be number one pound for pound if they're coming off a loss. It doesn't matter if he went up in weight and he took a chance. What other people won't do. It doesn't matter. He's coming off a loss. So this one, I like this pound for pound rankings because he should still be at top three pound for pound fighter. And this is it right here. Like, they put him at number 3. They didn't dump him that far down. And I feel that Usyk should be number 1. But it's more important is the fact that all 3 current undisputed world champions are in the top 10 pound for pound rankings. Like this one right here. Look at that. Got Canelo at number 3. Canelo at number 3. Devin Haney at number 8. And Jermell Charlo at number 9. Beautiful. That's why I agree with this one so much. So it's not my pound for pound list, because if it was mine, probably the only little things I would do would be like probably Naoya, drop him down more. He's too high. If Naoya becomes undisputed, of course, fuck yeah, leave him right there. Number 2 would be nice because he's only one bout away from becoming undisputed. So if he gets that, that's different. Now we would have 4 current undisputed champions. I mean, the number 10, kind of disagree. The Chocolatito, even though he's been looking good lately, I would take him out and I would put on Shakur Stevenson. Definitely Shakur Stevenson. So, maybe Shakur or Better BF, but no, I think I'm going with Shakur more. But yeah, I think this is the best pound for pound list there is in boxing right now. Because no one else. If you go to, I went on one of my live feeds, I went through all the other fucking pound for pound sightings. The boxing sites that have pound for pound lists, and none of them had all 3 current undisputed champions in their top 10 pound for pound. None of them. This is the only one. And on top of that, I agree with their number 1 pound for pound, Usyk, and I agree with Canelo dropping only to number 3. He shouldn't be below Naoya, but fuck it. He's got to be in the top 3. So this is the best one right there. The best pound for pound rankings. This is it right here. But I keep saying, I believe I really do believe that Usyk is going to get robbed against AJ. So this pound for pound rankings are they're gonna change. Usyk is gonna have to be dropped, even if he loses by robbery. He'll get dropped because he's gonna get robbed. Everybody knows the zone has big plans for AJ. Matchroom boxing is involved in this fucking fight. Obviously, he's gonna get robbed. Pacquiao already trying to justify because he's going the Mayweather route. You know, he's being like he's always trying to be like Mayweather, bro. Always. Now he's gonna fight a YouTuber in an exhibition fight. Remember? Oh my God, when Mayweather did that shit, oh my God, the world was fucking ending, man. But now that he's doing it, he's already communicating to his fans to try to justify that there's a difference between me and Mayweather because the reason I'm doing it is because I want to make more money to give back to the poor. Man, spoken like a true corrupt, lying ass politician, talking out of your ass. He's just trying to justify because you know he was gonna get flack for that shit, you know, because he's doing the same thing that Mayweather did, and supposedly it was so bad. Oh my God, fighting a YouTuber and then an exhibition, you know. You see, but now that he's doing it, oh, it's different now. It's different. So he's feeding his pack tarts. So they could spread it like when they bring up Mayweather, they'll be like, oh well, there's a difference. No, there isn't, bro. The only difference is that Pacquiao tries to be like Mayweather and he fails miserably. Because look at who the fuck he's fighting. Nobody. I want to see Pacquiao try to sell 1 million pay-per-views while he's retired and fighting exhibitions like Mayweather did. I want to see you do that shit. Oh yeah, and then here it is, the Clarissa Shields. I was talking about her earlier. There's a rematch in the contract. And it looks like it's a rematch either way, a two-way rematch. Like either one of them, whoever loses could activate it. Because usually, since I think they're both world champions. Because usually, it's like the A side or whatever they put it on the contract. I mean, because when Devin Haney fought Kambosos, they were both world champions, but Devin Haney had to agree to the terms of Kambosos, which was only if Kambosos lost, it had to be a rematch, not the other way around. Well, right here, it looks like by her own admission, by Clarissa's admission, that it's a rematch from both sides. Whoever loses, they could activate the rematch. So more than likely, we're going to see it again. Even though Clarissa Shields already said that I think after this fight, she's going to go back and fight her another MMA fight because she's signed to, I think it's called PFL, Professional Fighters League, that league in MMA. So maybe that rematch would have to happen after her MMA fight. But she's gonna put up a clinic. Clarissa ain't gonna be no need for another rematch. But who knows, man? Look at Devin Haney. He put up a clinic against Kambosos, and the other motherfucker still activated the rematch. So they just do it for the payday, and they'll still activate it. So we'll see. We had two epic fails tonight in the same card in the same triple header on Showtime. You had that judge that had it a draw 114, the Danny Garcia fight, like bruh. And then in the first fight, the opening bout, we had that referee with that terrible stoppage. Those are like two big things that should not be in the sport of boxing, but have always been, and it's going to be hard to avoid. There's always going to be incompetent referees and judges. There's always going to be corrupt referees and judges. Tonight, that shit was too obvious that I think both of them were not incompetent. They were corrupt. Like if they were paid off, like they had their own personal agenda. It's weird. The referee stopping that fight, He had no grounds for stopping that fight at all. The ref calling that shit a draw, 114, 114. She, I keep saying she because I think it's a she. Could not, that judge could not be that incompetent. No judge could be that fucking stupid watching that fight. That fight was easy as fuck to judge. Danny Garcia Benavidez, easy as fuck. The only fucking hard part about judging that fight tonight, Garcia Benavidez, the only thing hard to judge is what fucking round or two or even maybe three you would give to Benavidez. Like which one? Like, I'll give him this one. I'll give him that one. That was the only hard part, and that's not even a hard thing to do. It's just like Kambosos versus fucking Devin Haney. Devin Haney looks like he won every round, but you'll give the other fool one round or two. Like that. It was the same kind of fight. Easy as fuck to judge. You could never ever come to a conclusion of 6 rounds to 6 rounds if you are being fair, if you're doing your job like it's supposed to be done. If you got your own personal agenda, you're being paid off, there you go. And that's how it goes. Like when people are being paid off, judges, and a fight is too clear that there's a winner, it's a dominant performance, that's what they do. At least they put a draw. So whoever paid them off, at least hey, I tried. I couldn't give them the win. It's too obvious. You know what I mean? It's already too obvious that you were paid off by giving it a draw. But that's them trying, working for that money they got paid. That was some fucking corruption, man. You cannot say that judge was incompetent. That was fucking ridiculous. That fucking fight was easy as fuck to judge, man. Clear as fuck winner. Clear. All right, now we got Michael Conlan coming back next weekend. It's going to be on ESPN Plus over here in the U.S., even though it's going to be Northern Ireland. We get it like in the afternoon over here in the U.S., but fuck it, I'll check it out. Yeah, that's his first fight back since he was knocked out. Remember, he got knocked out of the ring by Lee Wood. I don't know, man, that Michael Conlan, we'll see how he looks because, man, that was brutal, man. He just fucking disappeared, went through the ropes, and you just seen his feet up in the air. So that was a brutal-ass fucking knockout. So let's see how he looks. It's going to be hard to bounce back. I mean, but he's fighting Miguel Marriaga. It's not like some fucking whack-ass fighter. I heard of this fool. I've seen him in fights, man. Miguel Marriaga, I think, isn't that fool that fucking fought Lomachenko in the past? So it's not like he's fighting a complete nobody, man. He's fighting somebody. So let's see. Let's see what he does. And then on the Virgil Ortiz undercard, since that's going to be the only fight over in the U.S. in prime time since the Jake Paul got canceled. On the undercard, we got Marlon Esparza. She's all right. World champion. Got Henry Lundy. Oh, you got Blair Cobbs versus... Oh, shit. Blair Cobbs versus Maurice Hooker. That's a good-ass fight, man, on that undercard on the zone next weekend. That's a good one right there. No. Drake, oh boy, you're wrong about all that shit, dumbass. Go check your shit, bro. Crawford was not the first undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. That was fucking Hopkins. Dirt. And then the second one was Jermaine Taylor. Dirt. So he's not even the first or the second. You're nothing but a Crawford fanboy, fool. Come the fuck now. Dirt. So, yeah, I mean, that fucking undercard looks good, man, for Virgil Ortiz Jr. The undercard looks good, man. Shit. You got Marlon Esparza, fucking, world champion, the girls. You got Blair Cobbs versus Maurice Hooker. I want to see that shit. I hope fucking Maurice Hooker fucks up Blair Cobbs because, you guys remember who Blair Cobbs is. That Flair guy. I think that's his nickname, Flair. And then he got his ass whooped in the last fight because he was talking all that shit, trying to make headlines. He's talking about he could beat. He was criticizing, I think, Errol Spence and all this and that. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. And then he gets his ass whooped. I think they stopped his ass. And then Maurice Hooker, shit, we all know he's good. So hopefully he puts in work and fucks him up again. So he could get another whooping Blair Cobbs. So all right, we lost the Jake Paul fight, but we got some other good fights. Yeah, so right here, I don't know if you guys can see this commentator on my Instagram feed. Drake, oh boy, 6K. Big ass Crawford fanboy talking out of his ass. He's like, big time riding Crawford. He comes in saying, Crawford is a 4-division champion. No, he ain't. Crawford is a 3-division world champion. So there you go. That's one strike already. And then he says, and was the first fighter to go undisputed in the 4-belt era. Another strike, bro. The first one was Hopkins, and the second one was Jermaine Taylor. Damn, Epic failed fucking being a fanboy. Crawford is number 1 pound for pound. I don't care what anyone says. That's how you sound, bro. Big ass fanboy just talking out of his ass. No facts, just straight lying, bro. He wish all those things were true. No, they're not. And he beat some weak ass fighters to become undisputed. And he's holding up the fight against Errol Spence, not signing the contract. Duck Crawford. Quack, quack, quack. Fanboy. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, Suleiman on Instagram is saying that Jose Benavidez Jr. looked mad strong tonight, even though he lost to Danny Garcia. Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. And that's why Danny Garcia looked good. It's a good performance by Danny Garcia. And that's why Terrence Crawford tweeted that, oh, wow, now he has 2 legs. Well, yeah, it's been how many fucking years since he got shot? When he got shot, it was more recent to when Crawford fought him. He fought Crawford in 2018. So, of course, he's going to get better over time. He's not a paraplegic, like he's on a fucking wheelchair and I don't know where he started walking. No, that's not the case, bro. Of course, he's going to heal over time. It's been fucking years, bro. Suleiman is also saying, if I was Jose Benavidez Jr., I would push for a title fight with Sam Eggington for the IBO at 154. Yeah, like I said in my other feed too, yeah, there's other ways to become a world champion, even though it's not a major world title or it's a secondary world title like from the WBA, the regular one. So yeah, I mean, there's other ways. So yeah, maybe he'll go that way. Who knows? Yeah, Sam Eggington is mad popular. Yeah, he's over there in the UK, not over here. Nobody knows who the fuck he is. But yeah, I guess he could go that route. So he call himself a world champion, just like Chris Eubank Jr. You know, that's the only title he's ever got. Kind of like fucking the regular title. A lot of people don't consider it a real one either. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're world titles. You know, just that they are what they are. Suleiman Nasker on Instagram, you're saying that Sam Eggington can unify his title with Charlo. Well, no, he can't. There's no unifications with the IBO. The only unifications is between the major world titles, which is the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. So no, you can't unify with the IBO, and that fucking title would probably disappear if for some reason Charlo would fight him and win. He don't even want that shit. A lot of fighters, they don't even want that shit. They just dump it. They don't pay for the sanctioning fees like Canelo. Canelo has beaten fighters. Oh, well, he beat Canelo beat Golovkin. When Golovkin had the IBO, he didn't pay no sanctioning fees. He didn't want that shit. He just went vacant. And then Golovkin won it again. AJ won that one. There's fighters that like having it. It just so they could look like, for the collection, so it could look like, oh shit, they got a shitload of fucking world titles. Like, no, that's the only reason they grab it. They pay sanctioning fees for it. But nah, not a unification. You can't unify with that one. Drake, oh boy, on Instagram is asking if Spence beats Crawford, will Spence be ranked higher on the pound for pound list? And if Crawford beats Spence, will Crawford be ranked higher? I mean, that's a pretty easy one. Come on, bro. Yeah, of course, man. I mean, right now there's so many different pound for pound rankings, and I think in all of them, some have Spence up over Crawford, and the other one has Crawford over Spence, and vice versa, back and forth. But if they fight and the winner, of course, in all those pound for pound rankings, the winner is going to be above the other one, and a lot of those, the winner's probably going to be at number one pound for pound. So I mean, yeah, it's for sure. I mean, the winner for sure. Right now, the only reason why one's in one ranking, one's above the other one, and the other one is vice versa is because of that. They haven't fought each other. They haven't fought each other. There's no winner between them. It's going to be going like that back and forth. So yeah, as soon as we get a winner, I think it might be number one pound for pound. Because, like I was saying, we're looking at the pound for pound rankings. They're both ranked pretty high. I mean, on this one right here, Crawford is down at 6. So, but I mean, by beating Errol Spence, who's number 4 right here, I'm pretty sure they'll probably put him all the way at number 1. If Usyk probably loses and gets robbed to AJ, I think in this ranking right here that we're looking at, since he's all the way down at 6, if he were to beat Errol Spence, Crawford would probably go all the way up to number 2 if Usyk wins against AJ. But I think he's going to get robbed against AJ, so Usyk would probably drop. Naoya will probably go up to number 1, but if Naoya goes undisputed at the same time like Crawford and Errol Spence, then I think in this ranking right here, Naoya will stay at number 1 if Usyk gets robbed. And who knows? Who knows how he's gonna go? Is the fight even gonna get done? Who the fuck knows how it goes? Who the fuck knows? But yeah, it was this guy's night tonight. And yeah, there was a lot of times in the past where, when he would lose, those 3 losses that he has, Danny Garcia, against the best, Porter, Thurman, and Errol Spence. And there was always a lot of calls for him to lose his father as a trainer. He's hurting him. He doesn't give him good instructions, which I agree. There's a lot of fights where he doesn't give him instructions. He just gets mad at him in the corner. And yeah, but it's a bond. And we saw it tonight with his speech when he was crying and everything. And his dad was being right there supporting him. And even Danny Garcia said, I wouldn't be anywhere without him. He's everything to me. Like, I mean, it's the bond. I mean, maybe the other trainer, if he would have dumped his father, would give him better instructions, would give him better training, but the bond wouldn't be right there. There's another element to it. To the fighter, they need to feel that bond, the chemistry. The fighter needs to feel good in life. And that's the way the tough times have gotten him. Who gets him through them? It's probably his father. He's always been there, he said. So, it's kind of tough. But I mean, there has been other times where the father could still be there and they get a trainer. And the father could be like a co-trainer, or he could still be in the team, but they got an actual trainer, an actual better trainer. But I mean, there's too much pride in that right here with his father. You know how his father is. Like, he probably would never take that role. So, But yeah, I mean, here they are. They're still in the game, still winning, and we'll see where he goes. Hopefully, he does win another world title. Danny Garcia, I think the best way that he could win another world title like right now would be maybe against that catchweight fight against Lara, because Lara's already 39 and has not looked the same anymore. He does not have movement anymore like he did before, Lara. So he's looked vulnerable. So that's his best way to win a world title now, because he cannot beat Charlo. Not undisputed Charlo. Nah, he's not going to beat undisputed Charlo right now. Nah, he's not. So he looked good today, but it was against a certain opponent. Maybe he needs like that fight against Tony Harrison, other top fighters at 154. Then maybe if Charlo's still there, undisputed, or Tim Tszyu, whatever, then maybe he'll have a chance. He has to get acclimated to the weight class. Because right now, no, he won't beat him. He just won't. He knows it too. He knows it. That's why he didn't call him out. He didn't call him out. They presented the idea of fighting Harrison. He said, yeah. Or he himself said, Lara at 155. You see, he didn't call out Charlo. So he himself knows that right now he's not beating undisputed Charlo. On Facebook, Edwin Rizzo is asking me, you can't unify with the IBO? No, you can't. You can only unify major world titles. The only 4 major world titles in boxing are the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. Those are the only ones that you can unify. That's why when they become undisputed, the undisputed champion, like recently Devin Haney, Jermell, Charlo, and Canelo, that's what they unified. WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. There was no need for the IBO at all. At all. And if you have it, it's like an extra. It doesn't matter. Just like the Ring magazine, if you have that one, it's an extra. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't need it to unify. And then the lineal, that's not even a belt. So yeah, you can't unify with the IBO. It's not considered a unification. I mean, don't get me wrong. If Charlo, I'm bringing up Charlo, the undisputed Charlo, because somebody brought that up with the IBO. If he fights the winner, if he fights the current world champion of the IBO, and Charlo's the undisputed with all the other 4 belts that I mentioned, and the guy from the IBO that's holding the IBO beats Charlo, he didn't unify him, but he keeps the IBO too, and he's going to have the IBO and all 4 of those titles he beat Charlo for. But it's not considered a unification. It's not, you're not unifying, but you did beat the undisputed champion, and you could keep your IBO. Charlo would probably not keep it if he beats the guy from the IBO. He just dump it like Canelo did when he beat Canelo beat Golovkin. When he beat Golovkin, he didn't care about the IBO. He never picked up the IBO. The IBO just became vacant. So that's the way it works. It's just not considered a unification, but you could still keep it if you want. You keep it if you want. You have that option. It's not needed to become undisputed, to be a unified champion. It's just that's why it's considered not being able to unify it. It's not part of a unification. Drake, oh boy, 6K on Instagram is telling me, bro, Danny Garcia cannot beat Lara, dog. Lara is a very good fighter. Lara put up a great fight against Canelo. Bro, what the? Did you just finish that comment of yours with telling me that Lara put up a great fight against Canelo? What year was that, bro? The fuck you talking about? Prime Lara? He's 39 years old now. Have you seen him lately? Have you seen his fights lately? He has no movement. He got knocked the fuck out not knocked the fuck out, but he took a beating. I don't know if he was stopped against Jarrett Hurd. How are you going to be bringing up that shit against Canelo, man? That shit was in 2000 and the fuck was that? 2013, like a decade ago, when Lara was in his prime. He has declined a lot. He has no more movement. That's why I said he has a chance of beating Danny Garcia beating Lara. Bro, by you saying that at the end that he put up a great fight against Canelo shows me that you think that fight happened maybe 2 years ago? No, bro. That was almost a decade ago. a decade ago. That was almost a decade ago. That was a long time ago. You do know that fighters age, right? That they lose their prime, go downhill. Well, that's where Lotto's at right now. Look at what the tweet is saying. That if Benavidez would fight, this is before the fight, before he fought the fight tonight against Danny Garcia. And he's talking about if Benavidez would fight like he fought him earlier. You know what I mean? So there is different stages in people's careers when they fight different, right? By his own admission. But he loves to bring up and him and his fans that what he did to Porter and Cal Brook and compares it to what fucking Errol Spence did, right? But by your own admission, there's different stages in everybody's career, right? When Errol Spence fought Cal Brook and Porter, he fought the best versions. They were both current world champions. He took their world titles. Cal Brook was undefeated at a welterweight. Now look at what Crawford fought. Just craps, like straight up fucking scraps. Leftovers, man. That was the worst fucking showing by Porter too at the end, man. What kind of was that shit was all fixed? It was rigged, man. He wasn't even hurt. He was banging the ground when he got dropped. Like he was mad that he got dropped. Like, and then his dad just comes in and stops the fight. He has no problem with it. Like it was all fucking. It was like fucking whack. That Porter that fought Crawford is not even close to being the Porter that everyone else fought. And then Cal Brook. Oh, let's not even get into Cal Brook. Was washed up and done. Done when fucking Crawford fought him. So you see what he tweeted today? Yeah, he's admitting that. You see, there's different stages in every fighter's career, right? Well, that's what happened when you fought Porter and Cal Brook. You did not fight the same versions. The ones that Errol Spence fought. He fought the badass versions of both of those fighters. Oh, yeah, and then that says Bartholomew tweeting, I call bullshit. I was ready to leave it all in the ring. Thank you to everyone that tuned in. And that's true, man. I mean, that referee was horrible, man. Early stoppage, bullshit stoppage. I mean, you can't even call that an early stoppage. No, you can't. It sounds too kind, too normal. This is a bullshit stoppage. That sounds too normal, too average, too like common. You know what I mean? They call it an early stoppage. This was fucking beyond that. It was ridiculous. Everybody go say happy birthday to Delfimo. I think it was his birthday today. Yeah, I think it was. I wonder. I hope he didn't party too hard because he might end up with too much air in his lungs. Man, you gotta come down, bro. Take it easy, bro. Gotta take it easy on the lungs. Can't put too much air. Terrence Crawford and his weak ass fucking run to become undisputed. You guys gotta admit it. That's one of the weakest runs to become undisputed. And then look, if he does become undisputed, Terrence Crawford again at 147, it's also not going to be too impressive, but at least, anybody that becomes undisputed in two weight classes is already impressive. But even though, how he got the WBO was against fucking Jeff Horn, weak as fuck, his opposition after that, weak as fuck, but at least he's going to be beating the Kingpin at 147, Errol Spence. A top 10 pound for pound fighter and all that. So that one's better. But that run at 140 when he became undisputed, man, I know how a lot of motherfuckers try to clown. And, Canelo had the most impressive fucking run to become undisputed. And motherfuckers like that are fans of like Crawford, like try to say that was weak. Bro, your boy over here, Crawford, had the weakest one, man. Get the fuck out of here. Like that shit was like weak as fuck, dude. Drake, oh boy, is asking me who I think would win. Jaron Boots or Virgil Ortiz. He says he got Boots. I don't know, man. That's a fucking tough one. Like, we don't know shit about either one of them because all we see is what we see is like their performances, but it feels like, it's not against the best. It's not. Even though Virgil Ortiz has fought better opposition, it's not the other guy's fault. So I can't really, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. It's like 50-50, but it's not because kind of like Crawford versus Spence is 50-50, but you have seen it all by both of them. This one's 50-50 because I haven't seen it all by both of them. Their opposition, like they're still young. So it's like, just, I don't know who the fuck to choose because of that. You haven't seen it all by either one of them. And the other two, you've seen it all. So if I would have to choose, I would go with the skills. Because it's, again, like skills versus power. Virgil Ortiz is known for the power, and Jaron Boots is the skills. And I'll go with the skills. The large majority of the time, the skills is going to beat the power. So this is how Terence Crawford became undisputed at 140. In 2015, you guys could only see the middle Instagram, but in 2015, he fought Thomas Delorme for a vacant title. This was the first time that he picked up a world title at 140, where he became undisputed. A vacant title against Thomas Delorme. But they try to give shit to like Canelo, and Canelo be nothing but fucking world champions in their prime, undefeated. This guy's first title to become undisputed was a vacant title against fool like Thomas Delorme that probably has never even become a world champion in his fucking life, probably. Let me look that up. Yeah, has never been a world champion in his life. And it was a vacant title. So there you go already. How weak this shit's already beginning to be. Terence Crawford to run at becoming undisputed at 140. And then after that, in the year 2016, he fought Victor Postol. You can see right here. Victor Postol is right here. The WBC Victor Postol had, and the WBO, that vacant title that Crawford had picked up against Thomas Delorme. Here it is. Both titles on the line against Victor Postol. Victor Postol, a European. So all these motherfuckers, they try to talk shit about like Canelo because, and they try to put down like European fighters. Victor Postol, a European, a fucking European. I thought it was such a bad thing. And then after that, he goes up in 2017. He goes up against Julius Indongo. Nobody. Someone that nobody's even heard of. Julius Indongo. 34-year-old Julius Indongo, which means he was not in his prime. 34-year-old Julius Indongo. And you can see right here. These are the titles. And they fought. So there you go. That was Terence Crawford's run to become undisputed. Congratulations. It's hard to become undisputed no matter what. But if you're going to try to talk shit like about Canelo's run, oh my. That is the best run of all time, Canelo's. You bring up all these other motherfuckers, man, that shit is weak. Canelo's, all three undefeated. All three in their prime. All three current world champions at the time. And all three well known. Billy Joe Saunders was a 2-division world champion. And fucking southpaw. With great boxing skills just like Caleb Plant. And then we got fools that like Terrence Crawford, Thomas Delorme, someone that has never been a world champion, and that was for a vacant title. And Julius Ndongo, nobody had ever heard of that one in anybody's life, and he's already 34 years old. So there you go. Terrence Crawford, run at undisputed, was weak as fuck. Weak as fuck. But gotta give him props, and I will give him his props. If he beats Errol Spence, 2-division undisputed world champion, even though he got that weak ass belt against Jeff Horn, it don't matter. He's gonna be beating the Kingpin at 147, Errol Spence. And Errol Spence is a top pound for pound fighter. So until then we give him props. But he had one of the weakest runs to become undisputed, man. That was weak as fuck. But yeah, I mean, Terrence Crawford is trying to act like kind of like Superman, like he's a badass, like it's so easy, he's gonna do all this and that. You know, he's all accustomed to fighting weak ass fighters that he thinks is that easy. Like when he was talking about he's gonna become undisputed by beating Errol Spence, and then he's gonna go up to 154, and then he's gonna become undisputed by beating Charlo. So it's like, bro, calm the fuck down. Make this fucking fight happen. Sign the contract, big boy. Like, dude, and then talk out of your ass, man. Yeah, man, But's overrated. No, But's not overrated. His hype is his hype, not his skills. He has unbelievable skills. I was always a fan of him until at one point, I don't know when it was, a few years back, when I just stopped being a fan. It's just the hype, the way he conducts himself, the way he talks. It's the hype that he's overhyped, not overrated. His skills. When you're talking about someone being overrated, you're talking about the skills. No, he's not. Them fucking skills are elite. They're top. It's just that the hype is because he hasn't been fighting good fighters, just talking out of his ass like he's this and that. So he's overhyped, not overrated. Yeah, the hype is overrated. There you go. Yeah, there you go. It's a good way to put it. The hype is overrated. So yeah, he's overhyped. But now the skills are up there. He's elite. He could win. It's a 50-50 fight. It's more like the shit talking and all the stupid things he says and the fighters he's been fighting. And I look at the other guy, what he's been through, Errol Spence, and fighting the best. So it's like, that's what rubs me the wrong way, I guess. Yeah, it was a dominant victory. I mean, this is a good way to put it. Yeah, these headlines dominates Jose Benavidez. Yeah, Vic Court on Instagram said that Crawford only fights once a year. Yeah, that's another thing too, man. He's not gonna fight this fucking year, I guess. He doesn't sign the contract to fucking fight Spence. But yeah, what I was talking about the headlines, man. This is like, there's a guy earlier from YouTube that was like in here trying to talk that it was actually a competitive fight, Garcia versus Benavidez. I'm like, bro, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Fools, like I said, there's so many reasons why people will be biased and talk out of their ass. There's so many variables. Danny Garcia has a lot of haters. He's an opponent of Errol Spence, and he just beat an opponent of Crawford. So you see, there's like right there, it could be a Crawford fan talking out of his ass. And then it was a Mexican American against a Puerto Rican American. There's that rivalry, Puerto Rico, Mexico. So there's like a lot of variables why people would talk out of their ass. That fool was talking about it was actually a competitive fight, that he was winning rounds early and shit like that. Like, what? No, bro, this fight was like so fucking dominant, one-sided, bro. Like, calm the fuck down. I mean, like, there's fights that like so dominant, so one-sided that people, I mean, they're being biased and they're like just fanboys of one fighter or sticking to a narrative and an agenda. They're gonna find ways to talk out of their ass, and just kind of like the Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight. Remember how one-sided that shit was? Kambosos versus Haney, one-sided as fuck. Like, they'll still fucking come up with stupid ass things to like put down the dominant fighter. And Like, no, bro, that shit was not close at all. Or come up with stupid excuses. I mean, it's better if you come up with the excuses than fucking say that it was a close fight when it was clearly a domination. Like, there's ways to always discredit a fighter, his opposition. Like, Fu could be fighting the fucking best of all time, and you still discredit him. Kind of like Canelo. Look at his resume, and this motherfucker still have the nerve to call him a cherry picker. Bro, if he's a cherry picker, then all fighters of all time are even bigger cherry pickers, bro. Like, there's always going to be, people talking out of their ass. Look at like Mayweather too. They were calling him a cherry picker. Motherfucker fought the most world champions of all time, and at one point he fought in 16 consecutive fights. He beat 16 world champions. Oh, but he's a cherry picker. I mean, it don't matter. People are, if you're going to be, negative, biased, and have your own agenda, you could talk out of your ass and discredit people. Anybody could do shit like that. But that's when Roger Mayweather comes in and tells you, you don't know shit about boxing. Yeah, Rances Bartholomew is coming out saying that this is the most bitter loss of his career, which it should be, man. Like, that was horrible. That was bad. And I mean, Gary Antoine Russell's career is on the rise. It's on the rise. And this right here, it's a bad feeling on his career. It's like kind of like, oh man, I have to do it again. He can't just keep going, marching on with his career without giving this man a rematch. It's not his fault. I know it's not. But how are you going to just keep going with your career and not give this man a rematch when you know it's clear what happened? That was a terrible stoppage. Bullshit stoppage. He didn't want to admit it at the end because I feel bad for him, the spot he was in. Not his fault at all. It's the fucking ref's fault. So, but there has to be a rematch. There just has to be a rematch. Mandatory. And it's going to be a bigger fight now because of this. Once that fight happens, the rematch, if it does, everybody's going to be talking about how it happened, the first fight, how it ended. So everybody's going to be in agreement. That fight needs to happen. Again, they're going to be looking forward to that rematch. It's going to be a good fight. You're going to put it as a good co-main event to any other big like headliner. Danny Garcia outlanded him in total punches by over 100 punches. He outlanded him by over 100 punches. Garcia landed 233 and Benavidez landed 117. He outlanded him by over 100, bro. But that fucking idiot from YouTube was talking about it was a close competitive fight, he said. And then in the body shots, the body punches, bro. The body punches. Danny Garcia landed a total of 153 body shots. He fought like a Mexican. The body shots were always there. He was always up and down. Body shots up and down into the face. Combinations left and right. Movement, head movement, waist movement, footwork, using defense. Then going toe-to-toe. He was backing him up at one point, like staying right in front of him. He landed 153 punches. Let me click on it so everybody else can see it. Because if I click on it, then Instagram, it zooms into it. You can't see it. I'm going to read them out to you. So, like I said, he outlanded him in total punches, 233 to 117. That's outlanding him by over 100 punches. And then the body shots. Garcia landed 153. Benavidez landed 12. Bro, he outlanded him by over 100 punches to the body also. And then the jabs, Garcia landed 80. Benavidez landed 18. In power punches, Danny Garcia landed 153. Benavidez 99. Power punches to the body, Danny Garcia landed 90. Benavidez landed 11. In the percentage, every single category he beat on. Man, even fucking round by round, man. He fucking beat him in every fucking category. Dude, total punches round by round. Danny Garcia outlanded him in every single motherfucking round. Every single fucking round. In power punches round by round, Danny Garcia outlanded him in 11 rounds, only because one of the rounds was a draw. So Benavidez never won a round right there either in that category. The jabs, same shit, every single fucking round. Like every single fucking category, man. This is that type of fight where you don't even need punch stats. I'm just going through them for the fuck of it because I'm scrolling through the internet, social media, and I came up across them. You don't need them. Roll them up in a ball, throw them away. I'm just going through them for the fuck of it. You don't need them when it's a fucking clear, dominant victory, but here I am. Just going through them for the fuck of it. So, man, that was like complete domination. Complete domination. But yeah, Adam Kaunaki, he was promising, man. At one point, he looked like shit. He was gonna be a problem. But you know what ended up costing him? It was that he had no defense. Kaunaki, he was at one point where he was like, damn, he was that type of, those little fat fools that would throw a lot of punches in the heavyweight division. And they would just keep coming. Like they would go through any onslaught. Anybody would throw an artillery at them of punches, they wouldn't give a fuck and go right through it and throw an artillery of punches themselves. Kind of like Margarito was doing in his career, but we already know what got him by. He was having those breaks in his fucking gloves. But when I'm talking about defense, when it comes to defense, that's how Kaunaki was. But you see, in the heavyweight division, you cannot be like that, bro. It's going to cost you. Those are heavy punches you're absorbing, and that's what happened. Got his bell rung too many times, taking too many heavy shots, and it just rattled his fucking brain. Got to Robert Helenius, knocked his ass out, lost twice. I don't know if he was knocked out both times. And now he fights this guy that nobody's ever heard of. He still has an output. He threw a gang of punches, almost 900 punches, but he can't take them like before, like go through them and cause havoc. You know what I mean? Nah, he can't do it no more. That's how he was before. He'll absorb, but still cause havoc. Like, bah. Now he can't absorb them like before, and they're causing havoc on his ass, and he's coming out all beat up if he doesn't get knocked out like he did today. He didn't get knocked out, but he came out like barely made it to the end, man. He was all fucked up, man. He took a beating and just made it against someone nobody ever heard of, and he barely made it to the end, and he clearly lost. So you see, you can't get away with that shit all the time in boxing. If you do, it's probably at the lower weight divisions. So you can get away with it for a while, especially like Margarita. If you got bricks in your fucking gloves. But it's hard, man. You got to put some defense. You know who's another one that has gotten away with it and still right there at the top level is Golovkin. So Canelo better be careful, man, because that's another one. Golovkin that has fought like that. Just going through the fucking wall instead of going around it. But that fucking, you go through too many of those walls, especially in the heavyweight division, and they're going to fucking rattle your brain. You're not going to fucking be, your brain's not going to be in tune with your whole body the same like it was before. You're beating down your brain and your body, man. It's too many heavy shots. You're in the heavyweight division. So Kaunaki, I don't think he's ever going to be the same. When I saw what happened today, nah, he's never going to be the same, because you would give him the benefit of the doubt before, because he lost twice, but he was only to one fighter, a tall fighter, a big fighter. And you would think, all right, maybe that one fighter got his number and that's it. And he'll go back to being the same again. No, we saw it tonight. Nope, he ain't going back. I saw enough. He paid the price for not having defense. You got to have some sort of defense, man. Some sort of defense. Look at Wilder, man. He was getting away with it because he was so long and tall, bigger than his opponent all the time, and still will absorb some punches or whatever, but he was mostly the one giving. He has historical fucking power, so he was knocking motherfuckers out most of the time before receiving any kind of punishment. The only one he went with all 12 rounds was that one he beat for the first time for the first world title, or his only world title. What was it? That one dude that he knocked out again later on in his career. After that, he wasn't really absorbing any punishment. And then Luis Ortiz, he absorbed some, but he knocked him out too. And then he ran into Tyson Fury, and we seen the punishment that he received against Tyson Fury. Burn means to burn. That's the fighter I was talking about earlier. Burn means to burn. That's the one he won 12 rounds with Wilder. And he was taking a lot of punishment right there. But that was early in his career where he had never taken punishment like that. So, and it ended right there. He didn't keep taking punishment like that all 12 rounds because he was knocking motherfuckers out. So, yeah, and then when the 3 fights against fucking Tyson Fury, well, I got to say the last 2 fights. The first one, he wasn't taking punishment. The first one, he was being outboxed. And Fury was moving. And then the knockdowns made it close and this and that. Fury was not coming at him. Then he came at him in the next 2 fights, the last 2 fights, and we saw that he was absorbing a lot of punches, man. Wilder. So who knows if Wilder is another one like Kaunaki that ends up being not the same anymore after running into that one fighter that he went hell with. Kaunaki went hell with against Robert Helenius in those 2 fights. And clearly, he was never the same because look at what happened today. He lost. So we'll see with Wilder. He went through hell with those last 2 fights where Fury just came at him and he was getting dropped and absorbed a lot of punishment. Wilder against Fury, the last 2 fights. And now, we don't know what's next. We got to see him again. Let's see how he's going to look. Let's see if he doesn't end up looking like Kaunaki too. That he's not the same anymore. Because Wilder took a lot of punishment. So, yeah, that's what we got to see Wilder again. He keeps saying that maybe he's coming back, maybe he's not, so we'll see. Let's see if the same thing doesn't happen to him. Because this is the heavyweight division, man. See, fucking, like I said earlier, Golovkin is one of those fighters that still got it, and he's been like that throughout his career. But Golovkin's not a heavyweight. Golovkin has not been getting hit flush by heavyweights. So it's a big difference. He could absorb that shit longer. It's just the heavyweight division. You can't fight like that, bro. You gotta have some sort of defense, man, or else that's what's gonna happen.